What's up, everyone? Got a game here against someone from Smogon, FerrothornTheLegend, I believe his name was. And I'm using the team that Nick and I built, which is probably the most serious team Nick and I have ever built, apart from like the Sandstorm team, which he helped me with, the 5th gen one. And basically, it's Espeon dual screen with, to support bulky SD Scizor and Sub Punch Repushin, and we got Hydreigon there for some expert belt sweepage, and a Heatran Jellicent core. So it's pretty fun team to use. I've definitely been enjoying using it, and it's the one that I used on PO with Chase, so you kind of be a little bit familiar with it if you've watched those videos, but if not, you'll kind of get a feel for it in this game. So he leads off with Whimsicott, which is either going to taunt or it's going to substitute. Now in both of those scenarios, the best thing for me to go for is Shadow Ball, because if he does taunt, it means that Shadow Ball won't be stopped by it, and also if he substitutes, I should be able to do more than 25% to a Whimsicott, which I definitely do, as you can see there. So I do manage to get off that damage, and on the second turn he's going to seed me, which is slightly annoying because, just if he keeps sub-seeding and stalling and stuff, that's going to get to be a little bit of a pain. But I don't want to be staying in for this, so I'm going to switch out and go to Heatran, because it's probably the easiest thing to switch into and threatens Whimsicott directly, etc, etc, etc. And I thought he was going to sub there, but apparently he just mementos, which I guess that's relatively interesting as a Whimsicott lead. You just want to kind of crush their lead and then memento to give yourself an advantage on the switch-in. It'd be cool with something like Dugtrio, I guess, because that would work pretty nicely for trapping and stuff. But he's going to go into Espeon, which I'm thinking, he's just going to try and go for some move like, I don't know, some terrible move, which I don't want to take. And so I'm going to go to my own Espeon, which I'm thinking can take the hidden power fighting, or whatever he wanted to go for. But in fact, he decides to Calm Mind, knowing that I'm not going to be able to stay in and do anything to him, really, because, he'd bounce back most of my stuff. And unfortunately, he's going to, be able to outspeed me, even though I think I have max speed on this thing. He probably does as well. He wins the speed tie, and he's going to be able to go for the Shadow Ball, take me right down, but I do manage to live it with 36, set up my light screen, which is going to be very beneficial as I switch into Hydreigon here, hoping to take a Shadow Ball, which he actually decides to predict that switch and go for the Calm Mind instead. So now he's at +2. I do have the light screen up though, so it's practically that he's at 0 boosts, kind of, on the special attacking side, just because I have that light screen up, which means that I am going to be able to take this hidden power fighting, I'm presuming anyway, and Dark Pulse away, see how much it does. I know it's not going to kill because he has +2 Spec D at this point, but it does a sizable chunk to the point at which I can easily revenge kill the Espeon with something else later. So, not wanting to lose Hydreigon early, I'm going to just predict the hidden power fighting again, go straight out to Scizor, because with the light screen up, I know that this Scizor can take it. It is a specially defensive Swords Dance set, which can take hits relatively well. So, switch in nicely. I could have set up a Swords Dance on the switch here, but I kind of just wanted to get rid of Espeon, so I'm just going to go for the Bullet Punch, which is probably the easiest thing for me to do. Fortunately for him, he has a resist to that, which is his Volcarona, and unfortunately he doesn't actually land the Flame Body, which is great, because Flame Body would have kind of fucked Scizor over, so I'm glad that didn't happen at all. So as you can see, he's running lefties Volcarona, most likely just standard Quiver Dance with stuff and stuff, but I'm not quite sure whether he's going to be carrying Resto Chesto or Hidden Power Ground. Obviously he's not going to be Resto Chesto because he has lefties, but he's going to have maybe Rest. I don't know if he would or not. That would be a bit weird without the Chesto, but he might do, you never know. So Quiver Dancing is what he's going to do, and he's got 2 up now. And I have Toxic on Heatran, so it really isn't much of an issue for me to just Toxic Stall this thing to death. I mean, unless he does have the Hidden Power Ground, he really cannot touch Heatran at all. I resist Bug Buzz, and of course his other stab in Fiery Dance is going to be giving me Flash Fire boost, so it doesn't make much sense to be hitting me with moves that are not going to do a lot to me at all, or even set up on me. So I'm thinking, you know what, he is still setting up on this Heatran, so I thought that he might just stay in and keep setting up for some reason and then maybe rest or something. I wasn't sure, so I decided why not get Stealth Rocks out. But he decides that he can't do anything to Heatran, which was obvious from the outset, and switches out to Espeon on that turn that I decide to go for the Stealth Rock, which is really frustrating because now it means that he has rocks on my side and I do not land them on his. But fortunately enough, Espeon's at a low enough range where I can easily kill it with a Lava Plume, and manage to take the hidden power fighting very well, because obviously specially defensive Heatran is very specially defensive indeed, and take the hit really nicely. But in comes Jolteon. That thing is Volt switching around. It's probably going to be Specs, and I know I can take Specs Volt Switch because Heatran's very specially defensive, of course, I just said. So I'm decided to stay in, and I want a Toxic or whatever the switch in. But I forget that obviously Stealth Rocks, I should have, yeah, there we go. Stealth Rocks, most important move in the game. According to Wild Chase, always get up Stealth Rocks. That's what I do, I get them up before Espeon because Espeon's dead. That's why I got them up. Yeah. Anyway, I go into Jolteon because I'm thinking, defensive Jolteon. He's probably going to Shell Smash, and I can Will-O-Wisp in, live Rock Blast relatively well and stuff like that. But he's actually going to go for the Razor Shell instead, which works out perfectly because I have the Water Absorb, and that kind of just puts me back to full health very nicely, and just leaves me at a footing to Will-O-Wisp whatever I want to. If he goes to Jolteon, fine, that thing gets burned. If he stays in, fine, Cloyster gets burned and is completely crippled. So, Jolteon obviously threatens me directly with Thunderbolt / Volt Switch. He's probably going to go for the Thunderbolt at this point, though, because he probably knows that it's going to be a kill on the Jolteon, if not very close to one. So he's going to go for it. I actually switch in Heatran as Death Fodder because, I really didn't need Heatran, I guess, and I wanted something to die. Heatran was the best option in the back of my pocket, and so I went to it. So this is a point, though, I make a really kind of stupid play because I really overestimate Conkeldurr's bulk in comparison to Jolteon's power with specs attached, and it doesn't work out well because I try and substitute as he leaves me at a range where I am nowhere near to being able to set one up, which is not happy at all, because at this point, if I had Mach Punched on that turn, I would have been able to kill him with this Mach Punch, but instead he lives with a smidgen, because he's a douchebag, and Conk Smelder. Yes, Smelly Elder Conkeldurr is going to die, so unfortunately, Specs Jolteon just takes a massive hole in my face and, throws things at my stuff, and I die, and yeah. So, at this point, obviously double down. I want to get the advantage to see just what he switches in, and it turns out that he's going to switch in Volcarona. I decided to go to Espeon because it was going to die for rocks anyway, and it gives me the advantage to see what he brings in. And here I make another stupid play. I go to Hydreigon thinking I'm going to outspeed the Volcarona. Apparently I don't. Apparently I die to a Bug Buzz, and apparently it's a useless crit, but that was another very stupid play. I'm not quite sure why I did that, because I could have easily just gone to something like Jolteon and just walled it instead of going to Hydreigon and trying to sweep. But my stupid ass thought I was faster, so I pay the price for that, which is slightly frustrating. But he goes for the hidden power here. I don't think it's ground, obviously, at this point, because he would have used it on Heatran earlier. It's probably rock. Makes sense. It's the other decent hidden power for Volcarona to be using in the current metagame, and works relatively well, I guess, to check certain things. So I'm just going to be able to try and finish him off here. I decided to go for the Shadow Ball there because I kind of thought he would switch, predicting my Surf, but he doesn't. He just stays in and decides to fodder this thing out because it is toxic. There is a lot of, Stealth Rock damages flying about and stuff, so I guess it would have made sense for him to stay in anyway. I don't really know when I went for the Shadow Ball. Maybe I thought Shadow Ball would just kill anyway, but then I may as well be overestimating Volcarona's bulk, which on the special side is really, really decent. So I know he's going to die from Toxic. Recover is my best option. Just get full health, get as high health as possible for the Cloyster potential switch in, or whatever wanted to happen after the thing died. So in comes Cloyster, shell smashing all over my face. I'm like, nuh-uh, brother, you ain't shell smashing on my parade. I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp, and that is gonna get rid of all your boosts down back to 0, my friend, down below the gutter. So that's what happens, and I'm thinking I can take these rock blasts now because he is burned and he's really not gonna be doing any damage to me. As you can see, pitiful amount. The unfortunate thing is that he lands a crit there, and then he lands a second crit there, which 2 crits is not something that I take very favourable, to be honest. Leaves me at HP amount which I wasn't really happy with at all, and I was hoping that Shadow Ball wouldn't kill him so that I could safely recover afterwards, because I know that Terracion's still left, and what I'm afraid of with Terrakion is maybe my Sizzle won't be able to kill it with Bullet Punch just because I'm specially defensive and I don't have a lot of attack investment. I do have a Life Orb, however, with Sizzle, so I'm kind of thinking it may be able to die to Bullet Punch, but it will be a one-on-one situation if Jolteon doesn't survive the Stone Edge. Jolteon doesn't survive the Stone Edge, so now I'm kind of afraid. I'm thinking maybe he'll live the Bullet Punch. I'm not quite sure at this range because I am not a fully offensive Sizzle, but I'm hoping, against all hope, the Bullet Punch will take him down. It's going down, it's going down, it's going down, and he does die. So there we go, Sizzle's able to pull it out of the bag. I wasn't actually sure there if he would, but he did. In the end, leaves it a 1-0 victory to me. Could have been a lot easier game for me there because I made some very silly plays. I kind of lost Hydreigon and Conkeldurr for no reason whatsoever other than, my stupidity in terms of Jolteon special attack and Volcarona's speed. But there you go, that's what you get for doing that, and I guess that's the price you pay. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, you can leave a like and all that good stuff, and comment if you like. Comments are great. They taste pretty good, I would say personally. I recently got a phone, iPhone Nitude, and it's my uncle's old iPhone, so I'm actually hooked up on Twitter and Facebook and Tumblr all on my mobile device now, which means I'll probably be tweeting a lot more. So if you want to follow me on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, I'll probably be using those a lot more frequently now that I have mobile access to them. All the links down below in the description, and you can check those all out if you so wish to. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.